The first mountains in Los Angeles were formed by the Earth. Tectonic plates moved and collided, forcing the surface upwards. The second mountains were created by man and machine manipulation. The land was cut, filled, and graded in order to create more land. 2050 AD. Los Angeles' iconic hills are home to some of the deadliest wildfires. Insurance is no longer available and most people must move. Luxurious hilltop living is Los Angeles' modus operandi, a result of multiple land transformations and wealth. The plot you see before you is one such example in Beverly Hills. Once listed at $1 billion, was recently sold for only $100,000 due to its high risk. However, there are still many beautiful homes that dot the Los Angeles hills. For instance, the famous case study homes that are known for the Californian experience of seamlessly blending their interiors with the beautiful exterior landscape. This kind of lifestyle is no longer viable due in large part to the increasingly periodic and catastrophic wildfires. Our story is not about trying to return to nature as we know it, but creating a new way to live with these fires. Already, climate change has begun to create deep impacts, which has a direct relationship to the areas projected to experience greater and more devastating wildfires. In fact, in 2019 alone, the amount of money lost in real estate to these fires has been to a tune of a staggering $80 billion. Research shows that the spread of these wildfires is also linked to topography. Hillside slopes are directly proportional to the intensity of the spread of the fire. Of these hills, canyons and valleys are the most dangerous. Single-axis roads with no escape routes and steep slopes caused by construction puts these residents at the greatest risk.
Third mountain alters the slope of hillsides to stem the spread of fire. The third mountain is duly created by cotton field, taking land from these mountains in order to reduce the slope and extending the excavated earth as fingers into urban areas. Bulldozers are used to carry soil, trees, and other landscape elements from the original mountain down to the flatlands to be used as new building and landscape material. It's as if the first mountain are finding themselves a new way of expression through the third mountain. The finger connects with the city along roads and incorporating the existing built components like metro lines and unused parking lots to create a new urban experience for Los Angeles. In these diagrams, you can see the cotton field technique used to create the fingers. The slopes are modified to a 50% fire belt, and in order to stabilize these new slopes, a concrete graded retaining wall with fire-resistant landscaping is built.
The earth that is brought down is used to create a new mass plan. It takes the form of rammed earth architecture strategically inserted in the existing urban fabric, a sustainable building material. This process ensures that actual building material need not to be transported from far-off places. Mountain soil from the valleys is regarded and collected. It is then distributed as a new grid that is overlaid over the street. This grid is then distorted and modulated to respect existing landmarks. In this side of West Hollywood, the grid conforms around historical landmarks like Sunset Strip, preservation landmarks, and roads with high traffic.
In 2050, the air quality is much worse, and the outdoors aren't the ideal place to enjoy the city. The city has transformed. Life in 2050 is all about learning to live alongside wildfires and its consequences. The third mountain manifests itself in Earth as a new materiality, as a construction material and landscape element. We leave the old days glamour in the mountains behind and create new Los Angeles glamour down in the flatlines, where we are required to spend more time in controlled and covered environments. A new story of living indoors in artificial nature begins here. Our proposal includes two scales of architecture, a radical landscape and housing community created having largely interior-based spaces.
The houses in the settlement follow the same zoning of single-family houses that is characteristic of Los Angeles, while the radical landscape creates larger spaces within that can be used for a range of activities. Circulation begins with the main pedestrian path from the master plan and then branches out into private roads for the houses, creating house blocks. The courtyards are designed to provide privacy while maintaining visual communication. The rammed earth architecture follows the general slope of the land. Covered and semi-covered walking paths through and through landscape views, and small social spaces are unique characteristics of the complex that are the result of the third mountain's architectural method and material.
The radical landscape comprises public buildings that can be used for varied purposes. It is stepped from Sunset Avenue to Hollywood Drive with rammed earth retaining walls. A combination of this landformed self and deliberately created artificial nature is the new aesthetics that we envision. Along the side, the architecture is embedded into the scalloped earthform. A combination of underground and open-to-sky areas creates a new experience for interacting with nature in 2050.
If the first mountains of Los Angeles were formed naturally, and the second by post-war clearance and demolition of mountaintops, then the third mountain synthesizes nature and artifice into an architecture made up entirely of the materiality of land. It embraces its artificiality in the urbanscapes. The first mountain has found itself transported and transformed for an indoor life in 2050 LA, rising to the challenge of new age climate threats.